What's up, car audio enthusiast? Today we're going to talk a little bit about these Alphasonic, the AS26 5P. So yeah, AS265P, so 6.5P. I'm not sure what the P says. We're not going to get into nomenclature issues, but uh, what I find interesting about these is the first thing is that they're $65 at this current time in the end of March in 2024. They're $65 for a set of four. And they don't look terrible. One of the things I noticed during the unboxing is the cone is it's pretty rigid. It's a polypropylene cone, I'm pretty sure, but it's got some good rigidity to it, which should give reasonable linear movement. They don't feel terrible. They've also got the multi mounting holes in multiple positions. For a lot of cars need that those odd position mounting screws, and they have that. They do come with relatively decent looking grills, and the grills go on after the driver, so you put the grill on the driver and then install it that way. Meaning you're not trying to use the little sticky gum method of putting the screen in. So there's that. Now let's be perfectly clear about this. These are not intended for a high-end system. At least that's not the way they're marketed and being priced. However, the manufacturer and the price and on the marketing doesn't always line up totally with what the product is capable of doing. And they are a two-way driver. I took the time to disassemble one, or at least pulled the coaxial out of it, and to check this. But the little ear that you see right here is non-functional. It's not a functional thing. It's just, I guess, there for show. So they have a tweeter in here and a mid on the outside. And it said they are rated for 30 hertz to 22 kilohertz. I have no problem believing that. On inspection, yeah, polypropylene cone. And a polyestermide tweeter, piezo tweeter, cloth surround. I was checking that out. That is normally something that you find in a high-end driver, this cloth surround. And why is that important? Well, earlier in my life, back in the day, they would use a foam surround around a lot of the mid drivers. And over time, that foam would age and deteriorate, and just fall completely apart. And you would wind up with a cone with no connection to the basket. It was completely pointless. So looking at the complete other end of the spectrum of very high-end coaxial, it uses a similar cloth surround. And although this is a paper cone, and it is extremely rigid, good linear movement. This is a really high-end driver. Still, some of that technology is in this driver. That is a fabric surround, which is a good thing. It is a ferrite magnet, so even though it's very small, it's not a neodymium. You might be thinking, let's say that small, it's got to be a neo. No. The fact is, these guys are rated at 30 watts RMS. So they're going to be more suited for a stock stereo application, an unamplified application. However, I'm going to put them on power when I do my install. So if you have a stock stereo, or if you're just using stereo power, or if you're just using a really low powered 4-channel or whatever to power your mids and highs, these might be a decent choice. We'll have to wait and see, because I'm going to put them in my Tahoe and I'm going to put a little bit of power on them. I've got about 75 watts per side running to my current speakers, and I've got enough room for 4 drivers, so I'm putting about 35 watts on them, and we're going to see how they handle that. I'm going to do a couple of things. First, we're going to see how they sound, and I'm going to turn off my mids and highs. I'm going to use a neutral tune that will give these a full range signal, cutting them off at 30 hertz because this is they're capable of 30 hertz. So I'm going to put them in and tune them to spec based on what I find out in the instructions, and I'm going to give them the right amount of power based on what I see in the instructions, and then I want to see how they sound and how will they perform. And then also when I'm installing them, I'll let you know any weird stuff. I'm also going to see how well they perform at giving them the beans. I'll still be running them at their rated power at their rated frequency, but I'll be giving them most of their rated RMS power and playing some pretty harsh music just to see how and when they fall apart. Because let's be honest, you guys are going to be doing that, right? So I'm going to do it for you and let you know whether your time is worth the effort. Because again, it's a $65 set of 4 speakers. Money isn't really the thing here. However, taking your doors apart and pulling your car apart to install these, and then only to have them blow 10 seconds later, that's kind of a problem, right? So we're going to find out exactly what we're working with, and I'm going to put them to work. See how they handle it. It says the frequency response is from 28 hertz to 22K. Oh, wait a minute, that's the other ones. Yeah. Okay, there's two different drivers in here. So it's 30 hertz to 22K, 93 dB sensitivity, 4 ohm impedance, a 5.6 inch or 142 millimeter mounting hole, 2.32 or 59 millimeter mounting depth, and a dimension of 6.54 inches or 166 millimeters. Now it says max power 350 watts. We all know better than that. You put 350 watts on one of these, and about the time the song starts, smoke would come out of it. Not even gonna go there, but it does say that the power handling RMS is 35 watts with a frequency range of 30 hertz to 22 kilohertz. So we'll be looking at doing that. Got a little bit of an instruction manual here. Not much to write home about, but it does give you the basics. And this instruction manual is for the 6.5, which is these, the 6x8s and the 6x9s in the same set. So there you go. We'll see what happens. Should be fun.